Sex lies at the root of life, and we can never learn the reverence of life until we know how to understand sex. Next on Journey Undefined, part 2 of the Sex and Spirituality series. Is there truly a connection? Let's explore and dive deeper into the mystery, myths, and truths about the steamy reputation of what we call sex.
Yo, I'ma do it just for my sake to get the
welcome back to Journey Undefined.
Well, he's gonna edit this out.
Welcome back to Journey Undefined.
Well, he's gonna edit this out.
Yes, he will. I am Carmen, and this is Ejub. Say hey, woman with stuff in her mouth. And we want to introduce
Y'all caught me with peanut butter cracker. That's my snack.
Yeah, that's exactly what was in her mouth, a peanut butter cracker. We want to introduce you to our new little journeyist, Aiheeya Ricco.
Hi, guys.
Yay, welcome.
But as you know, this is part 2 of Sex and Spirituality. Last episode, we talked about being physical beings in having a spiritual experience. And that sex and spirituality, it goes hand in hand. And we also talked about be careful of who you lay with, because you don't want a man that's going to mimic what he saw on TV, on porn, or anything else, because that ain't cool, because that won't be the connection that you want. Now we're going to go into our episode 2. But before we go into episode 2, let's do our little cute disclaimer. Warning.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, what she said. Warning, this episode contains adult content. Please be advised that you must be of the mature nature to listen to these episodes. I'm not talking about, oh, I'm grown and you 15, 18 and above, please. I appreciate it, because I don't want no emails from somebody's mama saying my child was listening to. But anyway, let me stop. Okay, let's get into this. Last time we talked about the connection when it comes to sex and spirituality and the connection during intercourse. So that means that we have some soul ties to get into. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Right. So that means that every time we have sex, we have some kind of tie to somebody, even if we don't want to. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every time you lay down with somebody, I mean, even in your familial relationships, even if you took sex out of the equation, especially with family members or best friends, longtime friends, you build what's called an etheric cord. It's from your etheric body to that other person's etheric body. And there literally is, in the spirit, it looks like clear, matter of fact, like this drinking straw. You know, the clear straws that look like this?
Right.
That's attached from you to that other person, like a bridge, literally. Yeah, it's clear, not red like that one, but that keeps you attached to that person. So you've ever wondered why, hey, you think about somebody, you know, an ex or whatever, they pop into your mind. All of a sudden they get more active. They come out of the woodwork and they're calling or texting or DMing her. And you're like, well, where have you been for the last 5 years? You know, that kind of thing is because you thought of them and they're connected to you. So you're pulling that energy. So it's important to remember that when you sleep with people, you have that kind of connection. Even if y'all diss each other, you can't stand each other, you move to Timbuktu and he's over here in the Netherlands, there's still the connection. The cord is still there between you.
Oh.
So knowing that hopefully will allow people to try to have healthy relationships, you know, not toxic. Because it's important who you connect yourself with.
All right. So we're going to get back into porn. Now, we discussed last episode that because that you're doing so much when you're in the porn industry, it's almost like fracturing your soul, because you're giving so much of yourself, even though you may not want to. You're giving a little bit of yourself to each and every last partner that you have. Now, we ain't saying that you don't.
And you're connected to everybody that you've been in that scene with.
Exactly. So we're not saying that you don't need to do porn, because it's your business. You know what I mean? It's your business where you want stuff to stick and where you want to stick stuff and what you want to hop on and how many times you want. It's your business. but we're just letting you know because we already told you that we're going to ask the questions, we're going to answer the questions, and it may be a little uncomfortable and you may not like what we got to say, but that's your business.
But at the very least, if you're going to do that, at the very least, at least cleanse yourself.
There you go.
But
that's
if you're
what I
going
was
to
going to
continue
say.
to do it, the debris is just piling up. So what are you
So
going to do?
if you don't spiritually cleanse yourself when you have multiple partners, because a lot of people don't know this, that you need to go out and you probably need to find you a legitimate spiritualist, so that if you're doing the do with more than the do, then you need to, you know what I mean, you need to cleanse yourself.
That's true, and that can be accomplished in we have lots of different ways to attack those situations. It can be done through yoni steams. For those that don't know what yoni is, it's a Sanskrit word that means vagina. It actually really means like birthplace or place of creation, but we've now likened it to the vagina. But that's what that place represents in the woman. So that's why we say that. But cleansing that energy center helps to pull a lot of that old energy out. It helps to dissolve it, drain it, pull it, and that area is then nurtured and kind of made whole. Spiritual baths are another way. Energy work is another way, through quantum healing, through Reiki. I mean, the list goes on and on, but there's ways to attack it. It's just that people need to know that it's something that's available to them. They don't even know that that's an issue, first of all, let alone that there's a prescription for it. There's something that you can do to get rid of it. So that's why I'm glad that you broke that subject.
Okay, so you did say something about yoni steam. Now, we're going to put this out here for everybody. Now, everybody that goes to get the yoni steam, that's not the correct. Am I correct? Because some people think you sit on this little thing and you steam your little cooter and you're good, but that's not all. Am I right?
Yeah, a yoni steam is not a spa treatment.
You do, yeah. And a lot of people, it's gimmicky or it's commercial because it's the hot trend. So a lot of estheticians and med spas and spiritualists will do it. Well, not so much spiritualists because we know what's behind it, but it's almost like a fad or a trend. But there should be some release work if the person is coming for that. If they're evolved and spiritually awake, there's release work that goes along with that, because that's what the herbs and the steam are supposed to be doing. So the spiritualist or the person that they come to works in tandem with that and works with the process of purging and releasing. So you can peel back those layers of crap, so to speak, and you can start to heal, start to forgive.
So there's more than
and release. So it's important.
So there's more than just sitting on that little circle with some hot steam. Am I correct?
Yeah. It's not a spot.
Yes, but what I will say, because I'm not trying to bash anybody else's process though, the way they do it. Some people,
but see, I'm not trying to.
I got a couple of ingrown hairs, because it does help other things medicinally aside from spiritually. If you're going through menopause and you do not have the same lubrication that you have, you're going through hormonal changes, so you have vaginal dryness, a yoni steam would help that. And you're not even necessarily attacking the spiritual side. But as far as like what I do and the people that are in my circle, we do a real yoni steam where we're taking you back, we're journeying, we're doing release work. There's ugly face crying, there's drum playing on the floor, bells, whatever. It's all kinds of stuff. Bells, whistles to release. I mean, that's what we do. We're meditating, we're chanting, we're playing the singer bowls, we're drumming, we bringing people back from wherever they come from. Yeah.
So you
but if it's something that is topical or surface, go back through your history. But I'm not saying anything. Yes. There's different herbs for different medical conditions or different spiritual conditions that you use to clear out. But some people, infertility, they might have hairs, they might have vaginal dryness due to menopause, they could have PCOS, recurring yeast infections. Those are more surface level medical stuff.
Okay.
But if you really are interested in clearing that space and dealing with the real issues, then we go a step deeper for that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm knocking people that are going for the surface stuff.
Okay. See.
But there's way more to it than that, if that allows it to be.
I think that a lot of people are doing it now because of a trend. You see it on television, on the Housewives, on Love and Hip Hop. They're going to the spa and they're just sitting around in a circle talking. And that's not what it is for me. But like Erica said, I'm not going to knock what other people do. But I don't think that when you do go to the spa to get it done, you really have an understanding of what truly is happening.
I think that's important before you
Yeah.
do
And
something to have an understanding, a
the
complete,
person that's
utter
conducting
understanding.
needs to be trained in that.
Because having an
I've
understanding of
been,
what you're doing is important.
Yeah.
I've had a
Go ahead,
yoni
I.
steam. I said I had a yoni steam. Of course, I had regular yoni steams, spiritual yoni steams, and I went to this place to get a yoni steam, and I was like, "Oh, they do yoni steams," and I was like, "Oh, I want one." I'm in New York, right? So,
Right.
and it was absolutely a spa treatment. They put me down, they sat me down, and there was a TV on playing videos, and I was like, "Oh!" And then they
Playing
had some
videos?
like another. They was playing like videos on the TV,
Like music videos.
yeah, music videos.
So nothing that you could connect to, not like it's like a
There was
certain
nobody. They sat me down for like 40 minutes,
frequency or
30
anything like
minutes,
that.
and nothing else happened.
No
Oh,
Nothing
wow.
else
breathing,
happened. So, and
no
yeah, and
setting an
I'm coming
intention
from
for
a
your
place.
session.
No, I didn't know what herbs, and I'm coming from a place with somebody that does that is just touching me, putting essential oils on me, clearing stuff up. I'm she's doing it, music bowls, everything like that. I mean, singing bowls and everything like that. But when I went, and I was like, oh no, I'll never let go to another one unless I go to her or do it myself, because there was no spirituality behind it. They
I think
didn't
that
ask
makes
Just
me
sense.
like,
something to do.
And see, I think
Yeah.
that
Well, let's
nobody
look.
knows. I think that nobody knows exactly what a yoni steam should be. A complete and utter yoni steam should be until they actually have one. You see what I'm saying? Because I've had one before, but it was just a spa treatment, and that's it didn't do nothing. Your cooter felt hot, and that's about it and stuff. But I agree. I think if you go for a yoni steam, before the first one you
Well,
should be a
can
spiritual.
we talk about the one? Can we talk about some of the benefits though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since we are talking about sex in this episode, just on the surface level, and I touched on it a minute ago, but
Right.
so for things like a lot of times the vagina will, especially if there's been excessive whacking or plucking or whatever, the irritation there, yoni steam soothe that. They soothe the discoloration down there. They force blood to that area. So if you're having problems with your sexual libido, they force circulation so the lips and everything plump back up. If you're having like painful sex because you've lost weight and sometimes it's like bone on bone and it hurts because there's no cushion there, the yoni steam actually brings circulation and it kind of plumps up those tissues down, makes them more supple, and it makes sex more pleasurable. There's so many. There's a lot of other reasons to go. So like I said, I just want to reiterate that because like we're gonna get a whole lot of hate from all these other practitioners who are just doing the surface level. But I want to talk about when this gets out, it's gonna happen. But I want to talk about that those are the benefits. They are doing it for that too. So what they're doing is still valid work. It really is. It's just not the same place. We're not coming from the same place as spiritualists.
Right. But see, to me, I mean, just like you said, we need to educate people on what you're having. There's a difference between a spa yoni steam and a spiritual yoni steam. You feel what I'm saying? And they both have amazing benefits, but one has a more deeper benefit than the other. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, okay, so no, people need to know this. They need to know that, hey, when I step outside and I get this yoni steam,
that's true,
and everything, I'm getting it because I have ingrown hair. I'm getting it because blah 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 blah. And then if they go a little deeper, you feel what I'm saying? They be like, dude, I had this yoni steam, and baby, I walked out of there and I was exhausted. They understand that they have released, you know what I mean, soul ties. They have released sexual, traumas and or whatever, or unfavorable whatever, and stuff that may have happened, sexually and things of that sort. So they understand where these yoni steams are coming from and why each and every last one of them, you know what I mean, is if I say, you know what I mean, one more time, I'm gonna hit myself.
It's important to educate women so they even know that that's a thing,
Right.
It's important to educate people. So that's why I'm glad that you chose to talk about that, because people don't know. And by the time people come, go ahead.
In my practice, when I practice fully, but in my practice, I do a questionnaire, like just like a doctor. Like, what are you going through?
Me too.
What is it that you want to heal? Like, that's how you know the difference between if I'm going to a spa treatment or if I'm going for a spiritual treatment, because I want
That's very
information
true.
on you. I'm keeping a file on what we worked on. I'm giving you a journal while it's happening so you can journal. I'll step away for a little bit, but I'm gonna give you a journal so you can know what you're releasing or what you're feeling. And when you come back, you can know where you was at for your own self.
Yeah,
You see, that makes so much sense because
that's
that's
very
how
true.
exactly
And because
that's
so many
just like I
things
was
come up
saying.
when you sitting on that pot.
Exactly. And everything other than just you sit there and you have a girl's talk, or you drinking wine, or you just sitting around. You know what I mean? It's more than that. And I'm so happy that we touched on that with the yoni steam, because now women know how important it is and the difference of the yoni steam. So when they go into a spa, they understand, okay, this is the yoni steam I'm getting this one. That just touches the surface. But then when they go to a spiritualist, they understand that they're getting ready to dig. You're getting ready to dig into these issues that you may have had.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I
ain't gonna
mean?
be no wine and libations at no yoni steam.
Absolutely.
Unless we
because you're gonna be
pouring it out to the ancestors. Okay, how about that?
Absolutely.
There's too much work to do for you to be drunk. If it's a spa day, you want to have a little glass of champagne, glass of wine, that's fine. But if you're coming to see me or Aiheeya or any of my other people that are in our circle that do it, you coming to do some work. You know that ahead of time.
And there's no
because we prep people. I was like, look, you got homework. This is what I want you to do. Yeah, you're by yourself. There's not a group of people listening to all your personal business.
Oh, see that's
me and that
person. See, because I've seen people have like yoni steam parties, and I'm like, why y'all party?
Yeah, that's the surface level one.
Because they don't know. They see it. They see it on
television.
It
is kind of cool, though, because you could be having a party to celebrate that you're releasing all this bullshit out of your life. You could be. Hey. But that's not what it is. It is, but it's the things that come up in those things are so profound and they're so confidential that, and you doing the ugly face cry, you snotting and everything else, you may or may not leave your body. We don't want the whole room full of witnesses, okay? That's not, they'll never forget that.
Girl, did you see what happened to such and such? Girl, I think she left her body. Her eyes were, Yeah, I don't want my business out there.
Sometimes you're tapping into, like, I know when I did mine, when I first got mine done, it was tapping into something that I didn't even know that I was holding on to.
Right.
Like, so it was like, some things is like a lot of, like a surprise to you. Like, oh shit, that's still bothering me. Or, you know what I mean? Especially if that person is like, Erica or somebody in our circle who is touching, is hitting your chakras and is concentrating on your chakras and stuff like that, and massage, and it's like a beautiful yet scary experience, because you're like, what in the world is
just
going
happened.
on?
And,
what just happened?
See, sex and spirituality, baby. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so we have touched on these soul ties, which we need to get into the different types of, in order to get to that soul tie, we have to like certain things. We were talking about fetishes, which leads into BDSM and kink, bondage, and things of that sort. But people don't understand. They're like, I got a fetish. But what they don't understand is a fetish is just a sexual desire that's linked to either a person or an object.
Yeah, it's a different sexual expression. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they say that sexual expression is actually a form of spirituality, which helps you get real. So sex is when you get real. You feel what I'm saying? Think about it.
Well, that's it. So, that's when you're at your most vulnerable. That's
exactly.
When you're at your
and you're open. You're open. And see what some people get, they get kink and BDSM mixed up. You know what I mean? BDSM is bondage, dominance, submission, and sadoms or masochism. Just depends on what you like.
Sadomasochism, yeah.
And stuff like that. And so, but kink is just a bizarre way of having sex. You know what I mean? Some people want a banana next to them when they have sex. I don't know, but or they want something. You understand what I'm saying? Oh no, they want I don't know, they want their favorite doll sitting at the bottom of the bed. That's kink. Everybody's like, kink is kinky. No, kink ain't kinky. Kink and kinky are two different things. You know what I mean? Kink is just a bizarre way of having sex. That's it. And stuff. BDSM goes into bondage. But the thing that people don't understand is that.
Yeah, but you're right. The kink thing, I just had like a crazy visual of like an old man dressed in a diaper with a baby bonnet on and a pacifier in his mouth, and
that is kink.
Wants you to do something to him, and it was like, that's like fantasies of pedophilia. You're not doing it.
Okay, that's gross too. The old man, baby, you already in a diaper 9 times out of 10. Oh, sorry. Okay, so all older people are in diapers.
Yeah.
And stuff, but some people they like to. You know what I mean? Some people they like to wear.
No, but this wasn't. But it's not an old person. This person in their 40s is not old.
Yeah, that's their preference.
But they're acting though. But they're grown wearing a damn diaper and a baby bonnet.
I just saw it.
I mean, they're just not babies.
Yeah, like certain men, you have to have like certain different lingerie on or something like that just to get them excited or do certain things to them. That's
kink.
Right?
That's kink. That's kink and stuff because the way
you know. I'm laughing because we got a perfect view of her stripper pole behind her. Okay. I might get a stripper pole.
Look at her right now. You're like, yes. Let's do your dance.
I just be trying to exercise.
What you say? It's exercise. It ain't like that. It ain't like that. But the funny thing is, that's a form of kink. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
If your man be like, get on that pole, baby, and work that pole, that's a form of kink. Hands down. A complete and utter form of kink. Yeah. Because it's
kind of my smile, though. I don't even consider that kink.
But see, kink goes into the mild to the extreme severe. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Now, the thing about BDSM, depending on which way you flow, you know what I mean? Because it also got into, which everybody is confused about, is a submissive and a slave. You feel what I'm saying? A dom, a dom could be a man or a woman, but a dominatrix is only a woman, and they get paid for their services.
Right.
Everybody don't know that. You feel what I'm saying? And a submissive, when you have a dom, has more say in what goes on in that experience than a slave. A slave has given over all and complete and total control of their life. I mean, everything from work to everything, you know what I mean? But the thing of it is that when it's done properly, it's a form of trust, complete and utter trust. You feel what I'm saying? Some people be like, oh, I'm a sub. Really? You sure about that? You sure about that? Because if it goes outside the bedroom, you're not a sub, you're a slave. You know what I mean? You're a slave. If it goes outside the bedroom, you're a slave. If you don't have any say in what's going on in that experience, baby, you're a slave. Because a sub can negotiate.
Because the other one is mutual.
Right. A sub can negotiate what's going on.
Yeah, that's
right. It can negotiate that person can negotiate what's going on. You feel what I'm saying? If a sub doesn't want that to go into a sexual experience, intercourse or whatever, then guess what? It ain't going there. You know what I mean? If a sub says, oh, that's too hard, whatever,
it's
apricot.
It's like that code word, right? Yeah, the code word.
Yeah, your safe word, apricot, I don't know, liquor drink, whatever you want to make it. You know what I mean? Weave, curly Q, Jerry curl, whatever you want to say, that word will automatically stop that dom, that master, whatever. And so, master goes into slave. But if you're a slave, if you say, no, I'm a sub, but your stuff goes outside the bedroom, baby, you need to rethink of who's teaching you what you're supposed to know, because that's not right. That's not right at all. You feel what I'm saying? That's not right at all. And stuff. And see, BDSM It's not always to the point that you're getting humiliated. It just depends on you as of what you want. You feel what I'm saying? If you want humiliation, then they'll give you what you want because that's what you're looking for. But either way, what we have to remember is
careful what you ask for.
Girl, they'll humiliate you, all right. They'll kick you, and some people like some crazy stuff, but that's not BDS. Well, I guess it can be.
Well, that's straight up abuse.
Some people like that. Some people, but see, that's the thing. The thing of it is that that's walking that fine line of BDSM and kink. If you're the type of person that need to be kicked to get it up, baby, that's kink. That's kink. It may be in a BDSM type setting, but baby, that's kink. That's walking that fine line between BDSM and kink. I think that's walking that fine line. Let me put that. Let me rewind that. I think it's walking that fine line between BDSM and kink. That's what I think. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff. But either way, those three, having a fetish is fine. You can have foot, whatever you want to do. Kink and BDSM, all of those are linked to trust. And to me, trust is linked to your spirit. You feel what I'm saying? If I truly trust you, that means I'm trusting you wholeheartedly. And that's what a submissive does. And that's what
everything.
Right. You're trusting them with that they're going to do what's right by you. So if your dom or master or mistress or whatever is being complete and totally disrespectful, and that's not what it's supposed to be, get a new one. Get a new one right then and there, because they don't deserve your energy, and they don't deserve you as a person, because you still have to remember you're still a person. You're a physical being having a spiritual experience, and sometimes these different sexual experiences can elevate you on a sexual level. You feel what I'm saying?
That is very true.
Like people who like that, I call it extreme sex. Is do you
extreme really?
Yeah, for extreme sex. Do you think that they are spiritually inclined, or have they tapped into some healing that they need to do to allow yourself to go through certain things of like? Me personally, I would say some of them is very disrespectful, and would you allow yourself to do that if you're not healed at a certain level?
I do agree. Now, yes. I think at a certain level, yes, some of them do need some healing, because if you allow yourself to be humiliated and stuff like that, that means there's some kind of trauma in that's stuck somewhere,
that you're,
you know what I mean?
Trying to work it out, right? You're reliving it.
Right. And stuff. So I think that, let me put this out there. There's nothing wrong with the type of sex that you like. You know what I mean? Kink, BDSM, whatever. We're not saying that.
Do you, whatever.
Exactly. But I think, and that's what I'm saying, I think
when it borders being unhealthy.
Right. And stuff, if you're
allowing somebody to harm you, or you're harming through it, that there's like you said, there's a very fine line.
But see, the harm comes in
options.
Right. But see, okay, so some people think with BDSM, pain is pleasure. It depends on the type of pain they're talking about. If some people like to be beaten to their blood until they see blood. To me, when you go that extreme, that means that there's something that's attached to the soul that needs to be released. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So
you need profound healing.
Right. So I think that so that may be something that they need to do past that. And there may be a part of their soul that knows that. You feel what I'm saying? And they're trying to get them to work it out. And that may be a way to work it out. You feel what I'm saying? I'm thinking about it myself. I wonder, can BDSM be seen as a type of Reiki? Because, I mean, I guess when they say beat the devil out of you, you feel what I'm saying? I wonder, could it be?
There's so many different types of that extreme sex.
Right. I mean, because
It could go
sometimes it's a
every way.
feather. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes it could
right.
be, right. It could be as little as a feather. You feel what I'm saying? A finger. You feel what I'm saying? And then some people, they like boards and
To
whips.
get flogged. They like to get flogged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They like to get flogged with a cat of nine tails or riding crop.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Some people,
Yeah.
they like that. And that right there is almost a way of them, I don't want to say disconnecting, but kind of disconnecting from reality for a little bit and stuff. Some people from pain, they end up elevating and end up being able to ascend into whatever. Depends on the person.
That's true, because there's certain levels. Yeah, there's certain realms or certain levels of ecstasy. You know, when you get to that point, that's where the orgasm hits, and that brings you closer to God. You know, like we kind of talked about last week.
Exactly.
The
And see
orgasm is
that,
a little death, but that is as close as you're going to get to death and still be alive. There's actual loss of consciousness or weakening of the consciousness for a split second until you fully released. So there's some truth in that, but I don't know. I guess when it takes something that drastic, to me, you got to be working through something. You working through some karma,
you working through a
some
lot of
trauma.
stuff.
You're working through something, right? And you're kind of blending the two together, because it's almost like the sexual part heals the hurt, broken part, but at the same time,
Right.
you're still hurting yourself. It's a lot. It's like a big ball.
But see, a lot of
wax.
people, they have trust issues. And that one person, when they come into a session of BDSM, that is, they give over that trust. You know what I mean? I trust that you're going to do exactly what, whatever they negotiated. If you're a sub, well, it's whatever you may have negotiated with that person. You know what I mean? This is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. You understand what I'm saying? This is what my safe word is, blah, 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 X, Y, Z, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're a slave, God bless your soul, because that means you have put in your whole trust, 100, 1000%. You understand what I'm saying? So you're hoping, because you can't negotiate anymore, you're hoping that person is connected to you to the point that they understand what you need. Because if they don't, then you need to find a whole different person.
That's a tall order, though. That could get so far out of hand. That can get so far.
Yeah, it can be. Go ahead.
Me personally, I think that I know someone who is into that, and they say after it's done, after they feel horrid. It's just
Well,
like they
that's
feel like
not
they need to
good.
be punished. Like they feel like they need to be punished, so they get punished. But after that, they just feel like horrible. That is like they did it. Like
Well, feeling like they need to get punished is huge.
Yeah.
If they, okay, so are they the mistress, the dom, or whatever? Are they the lead?
It's a male.
Okay. Is he the lead and he's doing the punishing?
No, he's getting punished. He's being punished.
Okay, and so after he has his session, he feels even worse?
He just feels like he doesn't feel great about it, he says.
So why
he's
do it?
He's working through some kind of guilt from his past. It's like he needs to be punished, so he finds ways to get it inflicted upon him. But at the same time, he probably realizes that
I'll be right back.
I should be okay. He probably realized that he should be over that, and maybe that's where the guilt comes in of having to even do something like this. Because, like, why can't I work through this on my own or through a more traditional means like therapy, so on and so forth? And maybe that's where the feeling bad comes from. Like, I should be able to handle this by now, or I should have dealt with this by now. It shouldn't still be cropping up, this late in my life.
Right. But see, if he's having BDSM sessions, a lot of people that have these sessions are people that are in high-ranking positions. You feel what I'm saying? That their trust, that everybody gives them their trust, but you know what I mean? And they're stressed about having everybody's trust, trying to do right by everybody else and everything like that. And so they are able to give over that same trust to somebody else, and they can get that stress. BDSM can be a stress reliever, an extreme and utter stress reliever. And that's amazing for some people. You understand what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So, because at the end of the session, the person that you have given that trust to, when they do right, They make sure you're okay. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes some people will sit down and they will talk to that sub and be like, are you okay? You know, da 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 da. Did you get out of it what you needed? And, you know, whatever. Hey, let's get you some water. Because those sessions are exhausting. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff. They may be sexually satisfying, but they still can be exhausting. You feel me? And stuff like that. And it I mean,
I got you.
It's so, to everybody that's listening, if this is what you're into, if you're into kink and BDSM and different type of fetishes, just make sure you get with the right people to tell you the right information. And what you have to remember is there's some people out here that they don't know shit, and they will give you bad information and everything. Don't settle on the first whatever that you see. Do the work yourself, because there's so many different. You got doms, dominatrix, men, you know what I mean, mistresses, slaves, subs. You feel what I'm saying? You got a whole list. You got film doms. You got all these names and stuff of all these titles of everybody that is in this type of a sexual community. Just make sure you do the research, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's your orgasm. It's your energy. Because when you orgasm, just like Erica said, you're walking that fine line between life and death. And at least you want to do is make sure you're walking it with the right motherfucker. I mean, the right person. I know, right? I mean, I'm telling the truth, right? You know what I mean? Because, you know, orgasms.
Yeah, you are.
Orgasms are important. I'm not trying to say, you know, because the thing about women is it's hard for us to, some of us to, Jesus bless. But
it's
you know
tough.
what I mean?
You got to know what you're doing. You got to really be ready to put in the work. The work.
Exactly. So, okay. So orgasms, how many orgasms are they? How many orgasms?
Okay. Which brings me to the next topic. Thank you.
Exactly. How many
perfect
orgasms?
Segue. There are like 11 different types of orgasms. Okay. And a lot of them, but you don't think that you know. You don't even realize that's what's going on. Oh, Lord. So the first one is the most obvious one and probably the easiest one to get. That is the clitoral orgasm. Because the women, you know, the same amount of nerve endings that a man has in his entire penis, we have in the clitoris. And then, of course, we still have some in the vaginal area. Right around the vaginal opening and then further around the wall and the cervix. But the clitoral orgasm, because it's out there, it's out front, you know, versus everything else being tucked inside, it's internal. So you have to know exactly where to go. So the clitoral orgasm is the first one and the most prevalent and the easiest one to achieve. Barring, you know, there's any other psychological issues or bad ideas about sex. As long as you're not harboring any guilt or whatever, that's the easiest one to get. The second one is the vaginal orgasm, and that penile insertion, you know, or toy. So that's the second one. And that obviously is the orgasm that comes from the stimulation of the vaginal walls and the opening. Then you have the blended orgasm, which is a combination between the two. So if you get stimulation from both, so internal penetration, you know, with the penis or some other object in tandem with the clitoral. So you get both of those going and it's on and popping. Gangbusters there. That is your combo. All right.
Girl, when you said combo, why was I thinking about a burger and a fry? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You want some of my peanut butter crackers? Is that what this is?
I know, girl, no. I was like, when she said combo, I'm like, ooh.
No, I'm playing with you. That's what it's called, a combogasm. So the next one is, this one is weird. And I've had this happen to me before and I didn't know. I was like, okay. So this one is called a coregasm. Coregas. Your abdominal region, your core.
A coregasm?
This is real talk. I remember, yes. So when you go to the gym or you exercise and you're doing certain exercises that strengthen your core, it stimulates and strengthens all of those muscles, all of that. And when those muscles are engaged, like you could be doing crunches, but I was doing this. Okay. I don't know what you call this thing. And this has been years ago. It was the first and only time it happened, but you're standing up and you have your feet, you're off the ground, but your feet are like in these stirrup things. Mm-hmm. And then you're holding on to this thing that kind of keeps you up. And it's a core exercise. So with your knees, your legs, and you're doing basically sit-ups, but you're in a standing up position. But you're lifting your body weight up. You're bending your knees and you're pulling your legs up. For some reason, that shit stimulated something internal. It wasn't like it was outside. It wasn't like the core. Because, you think as women, you get older, your thighs rub together and there's friction sometimes. And that can cause stimulation. But this was not external. It was internal. It was something with the muscles. When I use my muscles to pull my leg, it was the craziest thing. And I was just like, what the hell? It really wasn't funny because at the time I just it was so unexpected because I was not in that mindset. I wasn't stimulated any kind of way. It was like,
but your body was
nowhere. And I was just like, all I could do, but it really wasn't. It's like, I wasn't stimulated that way. It's not like I'm thinking, I'm going to my man's house or I'm going to get something, do this, I'm going to do. It wasn't that. I was working out. So your mind is the furthest thing away from your mind. That's what I'm saying. There was no external stimuli.
Right. But see, the thing of it is that what I've learned. No, what I'm saying is what I've learned in see that orgasm leads into the kink and the BDSM and stuff like that. That sometimes your body, without you knowing, is stimulated. You feel what I'm saying? And everything. Sometimes your body disconnects from this, and your body is stimulated, but you don't know it. You feel what I'm saying? Your body is responding.
Yeah, I was not engaged. That for real. And I was working, well, I can't say it out loud, but this was at the time, my job had a gym in the bottom, and I was like on my lunch break. And I was like, let me go get this workout in. Do 30 minutes, and then I have 30 minutes to eat right afterwards or whatever.
Right.
Never again. Mm-mm.
What you say? Ain't working out anywhere no more.
That's the core orgasm. And you feel those sensations build, not like that. I'm not going to do that particular exercise. No other core exercise that I've ever done has made that happen. That was the only one. So I stay away from that because I don't want to be embarrassed in public. Yeah. The next one is a skin orgasm.
Skin.
Why are you laughing? I just shut it. A skin-gasm. The skin. And we kind of feel these all the time, spiritually. Whenever you get goosebumps or you feel something pass through you and your whole body just kind of, and you have goosebumps. I mean, even in your head, all over your body because spirit has come through or is around you. That's a skin orgasm.
Girl, it can be 9 years all the time, especially at my boat, but Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to...
That's called a skin orgasm.
Wow.
G-spot orgasm is the next one. That's the ice one. And I told you, I think I was having a discussion with one of you one day last week or this week that when I do my yoni class, it always is so profound and just so moving to me, but it hurts that there's lots of women who get into advanced age, our age and older, who have never had an orgasm. They've been married, got for 20, 30 years, got grown kids, have never had an orgasm. They don't know what it's like because they don't honor their bodies. They don't insist the other person honor them, and they don't love themselves. They don't masturbate. They don't know their bodies and know what to do or what to expect. It's sad, but they don't. So the G-spot orgasm, for those of you that may be watching that don't know what it is, the G-spot is a place that's inside of your vagina. It's really like the borderline in between. It's almost like the back of if you could imagine like a relief map. But if you get your partner or you or Tori or whatever, insert your fingers inside and kind of bend it back like a C, it hooks around that piece of fibrous whatever. And if you stimulate it, if you start to push on it or vibrate it or whatever, you'll feel these feelings build up. There's the orgasm, usually with a lot of water. But
yeah, that's that squirt.
That's another subject.
Can I say that?
So,
can I say squirt?
I'm sitting here like this.
Yes.
Like that.
I don't know. That's why I said water, because I don't know.
Fluid.
Yeah, and I don't want to get like censored out. That is, thank you.
That fluid.
So most people call that female ejaculation.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the female ejaculation, but that comes
Because you know
from
what some people
hooking
say?
your
Some
fingers
people
around
say
like you
that's,
see and just applying a little bit of light pressure.
some people are like, oh, that's urine. And I mean, I've
I didn't
heard
hear
some
you.
people say, I said, I've heard
No,
some
it's
people.
not. It's not, because your
I
body
agree. That's what I'm
shuts off
saying.
the valve for the urine. You can't do the two at the same time. You can't.
Nope, you
You can't.
cannot.
Your body has like valves. Right. That sphincter will shut
So
down.
everybody, we
so
have
that other
killed the myth
pass.
that the woman's is urine. Because
Plus, it's
not.
tested. I have read studies where they've actually tested the contents of the fluid, and it's not urine.
It's not.
Yes.
Right. And
I've read
urine
stories about that.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And this ain't coming from there.
You know, yeah, and if urine is coming from your vagina, then you have an issue.
We got a problem.
Yes. Yeah.
like
There's
Keith
some
said, we
serious
got a
prolapsing
problem.
of bladder or something going on. Yeah. So that was the G-spot one. So the next one we have is the anal. That one is self-explanatory. So that's just backdoor action to the stimulation that way. And to each his own with that. You guys got to be careful with that and make sure that everything is clean. Make sure that you're wiping and your hygiene is good and that you're wiping properly, because you don't want to introduce any bacteria or germs from the back to the front. Because for women, that can be very detrimental, infections and stuff like that. And plus, it's just not sanitary. It's not clean. It's gross.
And see, I think the thing that problem is that people be watching porn and they see this to that. You know what I mean? They see somebody knock on the back door and then come around and knock on the front door, but they don't understand that. Guess what? They probably did a cut. They probably did a cut, cleaned up, and then did whatever.
Right. And I've watched a documentary on the backstory of those things. There was some, because do you know they have like an award show every year? There's like the Grammys for that industry.
It's on
it was one
HBO
of those
shows it every year.
It was a documentary about. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm talking about then. So with this documentary, they were talking about they have doctors and nurses on site that you don't see, that they do like enemas and all that kind of stuff. They do a lot of cleaning and prep work and shaving and all this stuff before they even get on set, and they get tested. You know.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to take. I think I saw that too. What you say?
Those are the big porn sites. Those are like the big porn things and stuff like that. What about the little low budget ones that are
if I'm not mistaken, they still have rules and stuff.
Or these amateur people.
Them.
She's talking about like the amateur.
The amateur.
Oh, you mean the people like at home that be putting their own stuff up? Ain't nothing I can tell you about that, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like spiritually, if you are doing, I think some women get off anally. However, I think that you have to have such a bond with someone to enter that crevice.
There has to be a lot of emotional. She's right.
I 1 million trillion gazillion% agree. Like,
yeah, and I just think that some people do it because I know, and like when you're young, you do a lot of things because I love him, or I want to make sure that I please him. And stuff like that, when you really don't.
And you do it because they want to do it. Yeah. They want to do it and you want to make them happy. So you find yourself, And
you're not, you don't know about the cleansingness of it. Like, no, once he goes there, he's not supposed to take out and put it back in.
You can't double dip. Right.
You can't. So that's just things that girls need to learn.
No, 1 million%. I'm sorry for laughing. I was thinking when Erica said double dip, I started thinking about a potato chip. But no, I 1 million%.
Once you leave one and go to the other, you got to stay there.
Exactly. Once you dip that chip once, you better put the whole thing in your mouth, and that's it. But no, I want yours
exactly.
Right, I agree that a lot of people, because they see so much on TV. You feel what I'm saying? That they don't understand there's a whole backstory behind what needs to be done. You feel what I'm saying? And there's rules and regulations. What you see from whatever site and everything from the big dogs and stuff like that, they're following rules and regulations. Now, if LaFred and LaFred Jr. done posted something, I don't even know what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
If
true.
you're not doing it right, if you're not doing it right as a man, it could be a terrible violation to a woman because
Right.
there's steps to do it, and you're just, So I think as
You got
women,
to
we should
ease
talk
into
about
something like that.
sexuality. Yeah, is to know your body, know your partner, talk. I think that's definitely a discussion, not a slip up. Like, oh, babe, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-mm.
and I think that's how it happens most times. I
No,
think for
ma'am.
a lot of women.
That's a horrible slip up,
That's a
baby.
heck of a slip.
That ain't like slipping in the shower. I'm sorry.
Ladies, let's be honest. It has happened to
That's
you
a
too.
slip
Like,
up
oh my
that
gosh,
deserves a
baby,
punch in the mouth.
I'm sorry. I ain't never had that type of slip up, baby. If you slipping
you
up
never
like
had
that,
that.
I'm
Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I thought it was your vagina. Like,
I'd be like,
no, dude,
Mm-mm.
you knew.
those are two different.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't, because there's not even any lubrication.
Not one bit.
No,
One is so tight.
I don't buy that.
You know what I mean? You ain't slipping no shower. You ain't slipping no shower. Ain't no soap right here. Ain't nothing right there. You ain't slipping no shower and stuff and try to catch it.
There's not even the same lubrication without adding some extra, How do you mess that up? Just make a mistake like that. I don't understand.
You had that slip up, babe.
Yes, I have.
Look, I am like, yeah, it
happened. And so many of us women,
you all in the baby's business.
I'm like,
and so many of us have had it. I mean, so many women have had it that maybe don't speak about it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. The thing about it is that women don't talk because you know what I mean. By you saying that, we may get 60 emails from people that say, hey, you know what, that happened to me. I'm so happy that I said that because I thought I was the only one. No, you're not the only one. They had slips in the shower.
No, honey, you're not the only one.
What'd you say? Yes, it happens. It happens. It happens. So I just think that's
so
something.
Let's get on with the list.
Okay. I'm sorry. Your orgasms. I'm sorry. What number were we on?
That's okay. I don't know what number, but the next one is the C spot. We just covered G spot a few minutes ago. We're talking about C meaning circle, like for your cervix.
Oh, please inform us.
Is one that is the buildup. I'm getting ready to tell you. So so the opening of the cervix, when you hit that, when there's enough pressure. I mean, everybody, just depends on the size and the girth and all that. But, when you are hitting the cervix, there's that pressure that builds up and it feels good. You can get a separate orgasm from that that's not vaginal, even though it's in the vagina.
So you can't be a
So that's who knew it had a name. So well, at least lengthwise, you have to be able to reach it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
You have to be able to reach the cervix.
Yeah. And it also depends, right? Because everybody can't reach it, but it also depends on you. Like for me, I have my uterus and stuff is tilted. Ryan told me that when I first found out I was pregnant years ago. Like, cervix and everything.
I've had mine.
Like she had to. No, mine was. I was born that way. So when you have to over the years when she's had to insert birth control or do anything like that, there's a struggle always. Or when you have to get a pap and they stick the speculum in, there's always a struggle because she's trying to see what's going on. And because mine is tipped, it's a lot of maneuvers. That shit hurts. Oh my God.
But you know what? A lot of women, when I worked in OBGYN, which I worked in for years, a lot of women, their cervixes are tilted.
Cervical or the cervix stimulation. The build up from that, that pounding motion for this. The next one is orgasm. So you can have one from actual nipple stimulation. Because usually the
areola,
it's all connected. So the nipples, yes, you notice when you have nipple stimulation, usually you feel it shoots straight down to P Valley. Okay. You feel it because they're connected behind the scenes. You feel that, so all of it is being stimulated, and you can get an orgasm that way without even touching the vagina.
That cunnilingus.
So that's nipple orgasm.
Together, baby.
What did you say?
That is a beast. That's a beast.
So okay. So what?
That's
okay. So what I just thought of was, okay. So when women are breastfeeding, that is I know, but okay. So when you breastfeed,
in a different mind, whole different.
Right, but I'm saying,
you feel pain,
right,
when the baby's up here. It's because it's connected to your reproductive organs.
Okay.
The nerves.
So it does. So I'm not saying
veins,
it
but there's
stimulates
nerves that
the
are
nerve.
connected.
What I'm saying is that it hits that nerve. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't no good hit and stuff, but I'm saying it does. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, during pregnancy and afterwards and postpartum, you already know that first thing they do, like when they're trying to do the whole fundus thing and they're trying to, Lord, I'm having a brain fart. You know what I'm trying to say? The placenta,
right.
Excuse me. They're trying to expel the placenta and make sure that everything is out and whole. They start to manipulate, but a lot of times what they'll do is take the baby and place it on the mother's breast so that the baby will start to suckle. That suckling motion will cause a contraction that will push without them having to manipulate and tug. You'll deliver the placenta on your own from that. And that's proof positive of what I'm talking about. But the connection is still there. It's just that it's more painful then because you just went through traumatic, whatever, and your body's still healing and trying to dilate. Well, not dilate, but shrink back down to its normal size. So that's why you feel that traction. But even afterwards, when you're breastfeeding, you still have that sensation because your body still takes a while to come back down to its normal size internally. Mm-hmm. So you still feel that sensation. But when you're not in the throes of pregnancy and you don't have that extra pain and all that extra stuff going on, it's a good sensation that you feel, not so much a contraction. You know what I'm saying? When you're outside of that time period. So, but they're connected definitely. So nipple orgasm is that. We talked about the skin orgasm. So that's like the friction or the goose pimples and the shivers, you get the shakes or whatever. We talked about that one. A breath orgasm. What? This was a good one. This one comes, and most people don't realize it. During the sexual act, you can intensify your orgasms by like 50%. If you just breathe. Most people, when they get close to it, they tense up and they hold their breath. You're not to do that. You want to breathe through it. That's what we practice in Tantra. You're breathing through it. And that thing is just like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I mean, just y'all can't see me, but like waves.
Yeah, that's that meditation. And
it's that energy being when you're inhaling and when you're those waves, that energy leaving in that same way, and it heightens your orgasm. So you try it. The next time you have sex with your husband, when you're getting close, don't tense up. Be conscious of your body. Don't
because I'm literally just thinking in my head, I'm like, do I hold my breath?
It's a natural reaction.
I'm
you have to
like,
train yourself not to do
hold
it.
my breath.
God! You just breathe through it and you just let it come. You do. Everybody does I don't, because I know, but I'm saying I didn't used to. I used to always hold my breath. But now when I feel that buildup coming, it feels that much sweeter, that much better, it's just so much more intense when you just back and really let it just wash over you. You let it come like that. And it's just like, but you have to just, I can't even describe it. It's just slow breathing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
it's like you thinking, oh my God, because your body is, it is, but your body's like on hyper sexual mode, so everything wants to tense up, but you can't.
You mean like when you're breathing, when you're meditating, that type of breath.
Just being aware.
Yep. Well, ain't that something?
And just follow, and you can follow. I mean, you can control your orgasm with your breath. If you once you get that in tune with yourself, you can control. Okay, I'm not ready to come yet, or I need to get this over with right now. You can control everything with your breath.
Or say I ain't ready yet.
Like, I got to get back to work. Let's chop. Right. So that is the most profound one. I'm telling you, try it. It's going to change your motherfucking life. It will. Aiheeya knows.
Yes, absolutely. That's why I just said.
But I'm just saying, I've been doing that for a long time. You have to use your breath.
What were you saying, Aiheeya?
It's doing the breath work and talk about breath work. Other one is fantasy orgasms. Now that one more fantasy and sleep orgasm your nocturnal emissions, your wet dreams. You having dreams, there you go. There's no real stimulation because you're not touching yourself. You're asleep. It's your subconscious mind that's doing all the work. So that goes hand in hand with breath work too, because you can have the fantasy and the breath work together and be like waterfalls. So that's that one. And then of course the last one is the female ejaculation, which is kind of synonymous. It's not exactly the same. What'd you say?
I wonder is that what TLC really meant?
I'll be chasing those waterfalls.
I don't think so. Not when you listen to the rest of the lyrics.
I know. It's a joke. God, dog, Eric.
Listen to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Dude, it's a joke.
Well, I don't think so. When you listen to the rest of the words.
Erica, it was a joke. Just let it go, baby. Let it go.
So anyway,
let it go.
Did you see this? Did you see this?
No, I can't even see it.
Clearly she didn't see me. Okay, clearly she can't see.
What did she say? What am I not seeing?
So,
are you for real? You flicked me off the whole thing and everything. Did you do it the right way or did you do it the little kid way? Did I get the grown folks way or did I get the kid way? I'm just asking.
You got the Italiano way, the La Costa.
Okay, I got the two, what you call? Okay, so okay.
Yes.
That's a respectful flick off. Thank you, because if you gave me that kid flick off, I'm going to be a little mad at you. Flick me off right.
No, I gave you the real thing. I'm a woman. I did the real one.
Oh.
All right. So that's that as far as the orgasms. So the female ejaculation and the G-spot one, even though they're separate, they're synonymous. Usually you can't have one with it, because when you stimulate the G-spot, if you're able to do that, that's going to happen 9 times out of 10. But some people don't. I know I was reading something in one of the reads I was doing. Okay. And one thing is I read some statistics when I was researching that said that only about 38%, it's a low percentage of women can actually female ejaculate. That's not a normal thing. Everybody can't do it.
You mean
so? I don't know. But like I said, usually that'll happen if the fluid actually projectile coming in. Everybody, but usually it comes hand in hand with the G-spot stimulation.
If I am,
what was your question, Aiheeya?
Go ahead, Aiheeya. I'm sorry.
I said if I'm not being too forward, when it first happened to me, it was self-inflicted. But I've had multiple sex partners, and only 1 or 2 of them ever got me to that point.
Could make you achieve.
Yeah, make me achieve that. But I can self-induce with myself.
I think a lot of women can.
Right, because you know your body.
Yeah, I think a lot of women can self-induce.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? When it comes to the waterfall. That's what we're going to call it, the waterfall. When it comes to the waterfall, because we know our body's better than anybody else.
But that makes sense.
Right.
Right. Not to mention, if you're waiting for somebody's penis to do it, the penis is not as flexible. The finger has digits. It can bend, it can move, it can maneuver if you're self-pleasuring. You know what I'm saying? So there's more than it is 200 pounds attached to something that basically is just going in and around, but it can't hit all of that stuff. Whereas we have, or our toys, more leeway, more flexibility. So we're able to do more than they can do. So it's easier for us to pleasure ourselves in that way and get that result than it is for them to do it. They got to do it. And you're right. Aiheeya is exactly right. Not everybody can do it. I can probably say maybe 3 people in fucking half a century have been able to do it. So not everybody can do it. The stars got to line up. The stars got to be in line.
The moon better be right.
They got to know your body, and you got to know, right. And you have to have that connection. They have to know your body.
It didn't happen to me until after I was 30. Until after I was 30.
Yeah, same here. Oh yeah, I was good and grown. Yeah. I had already been married and divorced once. I was a good and grown adult. So it didn't mean that you don't have good sexual experiences just because you don't, But when you do, it's hard to go back. You be, wow, it's like you're always chasing that high. It's like a crackhead for the first time, you know, who smoked for the first time and gotten high.
Wow.
You always are looking for that first high. It's the same, like when you do this, you want to have that experience because of the connection and everything that came along with it and how good it felt. But everybody just can't do it.
No, you're 1,000,000% correct on that, Leo. That you are correct. Oh my God. I mean, how many?
So that's that, which brings me to something else because we were talking about.
Go ahead.
What?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no. What I was saying was that all of that brings me, especially the breath work part of it that I was talking about, brings me to Tantra. And that is awesome. And people think that it's just a sexual practice. It's a combination of things. It's breathing, it's mindfulness, it's meditation. There's even yoga in there. It's a lifestyle. But when you're that in tune with yourself, everything else follows. Like it's about following the breath. So knowing the different organ systems and the body systems that roll with the breath, and what happens inside the body with respiration when you breathe. What cells are turning over when you have so many respirations? When you do this, when you do that. There's a lot of things that happen with the breath work. Consciously breathing is a big, but that breath work increases the sexual energy. So you could take something that is small, a small little tingling breath.
Right, because I heard that.
But it really is a spiritual practice. That is just that's a byproduct of it, but it's really a spiritual practice.
Yeah, because I heard that Tantra sex can also heal the soul. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And is it because of the meditative state that you're in?
It's being that in tune with yourself. It is, but it's about the of givingness or with from partners, because you can't do, if you are a Tantra practitioner, it's hard for you to get with somebody who doesn't do it, because there's a certain level of intimacy and deepness and connectivity that has to be present. Otherwise, it's like you're at cross purposes, you're bumping heads, and you're never going to get the satisfaction, because once you start practicing it, it's something that you and your partner do together. You learn the breath work, and it's cyclical. It's like you're breathing the same breath. When you do like the yab yum, the Shiva Shakti thing, it's literally like you guys are one being. So they're feeding off of your breath work and your energy. So when you feel like you're getting ready to climax, they also are feeling the same. You know what I'm saying? And it's a unified, you come together.
So you can both hold that sexual energy
it's hard
together,
for me to
right?
I see you, honey. You could.
I know.
Yes, and it just turns into this big, huge ball. Yes, it's like a volcano.
Oh wow!
But there's some people that are not into that, or they don't understand, or they just don't have the wherewithal consciously to connect with you on that level. So it's like, if I can't have that, I'd rather just be by myself and not have it, because it's once you discover that, and once you have that sort of experience, it's hard to go backwards. It really is. And it's just like, you don't even want it if it's not that way. Yes.
They said that Tantra,
it's like nothing else really like will satisfy you.
They said that tantric sex is a 5,000-year-old practice. Oh my God. 5,000 years old?
It is.
Because you have,
I'm telling you, this country handicaps people.
Listen, sex.
This goes back to Sanskrit and the Indian days.
Right, because it's a Hindu practice, right?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's part of that faith, yes.
You think here in America, sex is vaginal and, penetration wise, but in those other places, sex is mental. It's mental. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can, just for somebody touch, and I experienced it because I had a partner we was just like this together, and just the touch can make you just orgasm, or just a kiss, or him just like just certain things. It's just was like, oh my gosh. But you have to be I think that with Tantra, that both of you have to be willing and connected to do it.
Right. To go
and
deep.
It's like a flow. It's like a dance.
That's what they said. They said it's a weaving of energy.
It is. Of the energies in between you. It is. And it's awesome. I actually teach that. I don't do that in a big class, but I do one-on-one because I have several clients that, couples that are clients that come to me, and I teach them how to do that. Like if you come in my office, you see all those meditation mats, those pillows are on the floor. Yep. That's what I use them for, because we're sitting on the floor and facing each other. There's certain things that we do.
I ain't sitting on no mats no more.
No, nothing like that.
Joke.
I don't want no butt juice on my pillows.
No more jokes
not like that.
I ain't cracking no more jokes with you. not. She don't even catch the joke.
No, it wasn't even what you said. It was your facial expression.
It was a joke.
Anyhow, that's what those cushions are for. Because I work with people on like that connectivity and how to connect.
I think it's beautiful.
So that's the only way to, just like Aiheeya said, once you go do that, you can't go backwards.
It's very hard to, my experience with it took me a very, very, very long time to go have sex with anyone or to even feel sexual with anyone. And I now, even to today, I still suffer from it because I know what sex feels like.
Because you have such deep connection.
I know what sex feels like, and I know what sex feels like, and I call it not in my own body. It was like an experience of, you're laying in the bed and you're having sex with this person, but you're so connected to them that you can see you as ancestral beings having sex in the universe. All is happening.
Yeah, in the fifth dimension. It's like your souls, it's your spirits that are intertwined.
It's a beautiful thing.
And you feel that, and it's way more profound than just bang, bang, bang,
so
bang.
In the States, so we not call sex sex, and we just call it intercourse. Think about it, because
I think that most people,
because we don't explore sex. We don't explore sex like that in America. We don't. Everything is don't do.
That's just so taboo. It's so taboo.
Right.
In America, in certain places in America. And then you have to think, a lot of, unfortunately, and it's an unspoken thing, that a lot of people first sexual experience has been a violation. So you're not really even exploring sex.
And you've got to overcome that.
Right.
But see, that's not just in America. That's probably all across the world. But the thing of it is that they probably have found a better way to overcome it and move past it. Other than that, you know what I mean? Because, okay, so there's other countries that you work, but you don't work yourself to the bone. We work ourselves to the bone here. So therefore, we don't have a chance to go out and release and, explore and whatever else, because our mortality rate is the worst. You feel what I'm saying? I remember when I was watching, I remember when I was watching, not What the Health, but it was a Michael Moore thing. It was about the healthcare system. I can't remember what it was. You know what I mean? It was about the healthcare system and what. No, McDonald's. But what he did was he had it was this guy, he had cancer and everything, but he discovered he had cancer while he was in France with his company. And so he came back here, but because he went back to France for his company, he ended up getting this amazing treatment and stuff like that and everything. He wasn't even a citizen. And he got this amazing treatment. And plus he got like a year and a half off with pay to be able to get his treatment, you know what I mean? To get his treatment and to heal properly. You feel what I'm saying? So when we came back to work, he was 100%. He wasn't stressed because his bills were paid and stuff like that. We don't do that here. You feel what I'm saying? So if a lot of people's sexual experience comes from trauma, you understand what I'm saying? We don't have enough time to release that trauma. You know what I'm saying? We're not given the time. We don't take the time because the only thing
But sometimes you got to make it. You got to take it.
I agree.
I agree because we're killing ourselves.
Exactly.
In my mother's day, growing up in my mom's day, she used to tell me that they didn't talk about sex. If you do anything about sex, you was fast, and you was a fast girl, and you would get sent away and stuff like that. So us as women, we were not even taught, just lay there. Or some people.
My father said the same thing.
turn you around and just like they said in Color Purple, oh, I just feel like he using the bathroom on me. Like, some women,
Yeah, you're
their
just
first
gonna do his
partner, no,
business.
seriously,
Yeah,
right? So their first
it's
experience
not
is like
supposed to be that
nothing,
way.
and then they leave their husband or something happens and they have another sexual experience with somebody else, and they're like, oh snap,
Was it
what is
supposed to be
this?
like? Right. Because
So
we talked about that in part one. Sure did. Talked about, yep, we sure did. Because, and you're right. You're 1,000,000% right. They don't talk about it because, just like I said before, my mother was like, don't bring no babies in this house. Don't bring no fast ass. That was my that was my sexual education. Don't bring no fast ass. Don't da 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 da.
Okay. But they gotta tell you what to do to bring the babies in the house. If you don't know, you're gonna go right out there and do it.
I ain't trying to be funny,
right,
but you
they
know,
didn't tell you
what does it take?
how to
no,
bring
you
the
didn't.
baby in the house.
But okay. So if my mama
You came
watching,
from a
Lord Jesus.
store.
But the thing of it is that, like, you know how your mom used to have the little videotapes and whatever in the thing, you kind of knew how to make babies, but then you actually saw it because your mom had the little videotape and you just rewind it and fast forward it, and then you'd be like, okay, it's on number da 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 da, and then you go in there and be like, oh my god, that's how they do it, and you go. That was how I learned. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
but
stuff other than don't be no fast.
You have to have. Yeah, but what is fast? I mean, you got to have those conversations with your children. It starts at home. Healthy conversations, so that when they go out into the world, they're right. They're balanced. They're not being too promiscuous, but they're not being frigid either. You know what I'm saying? They have a healthy idea, fear, whatever around sex. It's to be revered and respected. It's not just something you don't just throw your body around like there's so much garbage. What you have is literally it's the seed of creation. Life comes out of this thing. So we have to, as women, little girls rather, it has to start at home. You treat this like it's the crown jewel. Give it to who you want to give it to, and make sure that person is worthy of who you're giving it to, because it's just that important.
I think you said a key word right there.
Nobody says that. They just say don't get pregnant, but they don't tell you
exactly. They don't say respect sex
and what it worth.
Respect the process, and just make sure whoever you decide to lie down with, that's who you want to give this precious jewel to.
It is worthy,
right?
And make sure that he makes you feel good. And there's certain things, that I think that our generation wasn't told about sex and the beauty of it.
Because it's a gorgeous thing when done properly.
Yes. When the instructions have been read.
Exactly. Not like the IKEA furniture. You try to put it together and the instructions be all messed up.
Right. Yeah. No pictures, please.
But it's right. I mean, we need to know how to respect our own bodies. We need to be taught from a young age, but we also it's not enough just to say, hey, don't let anybody touch you. Explain why. Explain what is housed in there and why, why it's important, why it's not important. It's a self-esteem thing. It starts with us. Men are going to be men regardless, but if they see how you handle yourself and how you treat yourself, they're going to fall in line accordingly if they want to get with you.
That is true.
And I also
because they're going to realize, oh, I can't try this bullshit on her.
And I think that as women, we should know our bodies, right? Like, I think that masturbation is very important to me, So your body,
absolutely,
your likes and your dislikes, and and what gets you on and what gets you off. So he is not dictating how sex goes.
Right.
He should be the one driving how your body is being taken care of, not how he wants it to be done. Like turn over, move up, and then hard and stuff like that. Like, no, I don't need that.
Right, but there should be mutual discussion anyway. That should be a mutual, discussion. You should tell somebody what doesn't, and not, you missed the first episode, but that's what Carmen and I were talking about, the whole cookie cutter thing, and it's not a one size fits all deal. You need to take the time to find out what your partner wants, and your partner needs to take time to find out learn the same things about
But
I agree.
how many women are truly doing that? I mean, even it took me to be over 30 before I even knew
We don't. I
about
think
me.
we're taking scraps
Yeah,
I think some
right.
women are
because we don't
scared to
know.
speak up. I think they're just scared to speak up. That's not something that they were taught. If you're not even taught, that's not something that they're open to. You feel what I'm saying? If you can't even speak freely about sex, how are you going to be able to tell someone what you want or what you need or what your needs are? You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, tantric sex we know heals. What about Kama Sutra? Is Kama Sutra older than tantric sex?
It also heals.
Oh, does
I
it?
think
They're
Kama
about the
Sutra
same.
is older.
One, yeah, they're about the same. Yeah,
Because are they
but
both
both of them are
Hindu?
Asian. Are Easter? No. Um.
Okay.
Well,
Because I know that tantric
I don't even remember
is
now. It's been
Hindu.
so long since I looked at. Tantric is definitely like with the Indians, but you got to remember it's all Asia. It's
Yeah, it
one
is
continent,
Indian.
so the practices are very very
Right.
similar. But
Right.
China and Japan. So, but
Mm.
they're right there together. They're close. You look on the map, they're there together. So I can't remember which one started, but I know they started. I mean, like thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands. It's not new. I mean, this stuff is written like in ancient texts, ancient
Yeah, it
scrolls,
says ancient
different
Indian.
positions to reach enlightenment, different positions. Yeah, different positions for enlightenment, different positions for health reasons, even. The Japanese that with there's certain areas, like say this is the vagina, and then this is in the vaginal wall and in the vaginal canals, that you can stimulate, that you can hit, that cure certain ailments, that help certain issues. If you suffer from insomnia, if you suffer from just different things that we suffer with, that we take pills for now, be healed through
But
sexual
they
expression,
don't.
through the sexual act. And there's different positions. Yeah, there's different positions that get you to different places so that easily access that area that needs to be healed. But they use it as a healing mechanism, a healing modality, just for pleasure. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's pleasurable in the process, but it's also helping that person. Sorry, my phone is ringing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. So yeah, it's very healing. And
So I
in
wonder.
Taoism, I want to say it's the Japanese Taoism.
Yeah.
I know that what were they saying?
And
That
all that goes back to
Yanni is the writer of Kama Sutra.
Yoni.
But I know that they were also saying that that modern days has distorted exactly what Kama Sutra is. Is that true? Is that true?
They've made it into more of a thing about the positions, the different sexual positions for pleasure, but they really are for healing the body.
And there's different
What were you
things in
saying,
Kama Sutra that you do, like making sure like you have different I think Kama Sutra is so dope because it what do you call it? Your vital I don't your not your vital organs, but what is it like your in acupuncture, your pulse what do you call that?
Your wrist, yeah.
Yeah, your
I don't know what it's
pulsing.
called,
Like,
but
you mean when you're
it's
pressing
the pressure,
your
it's the pressure
points.
point that corresponds directly to your genitals. Is in your wrist,
right?
And it always makes me laugh because I think about Ray Charles. I can't hear you.
Why you think about?
Because in the movie he used to grab. Yeah, aromatherapy. No, I was saying that I think about Ray Charles because in the movie Ray, he was blind, so he didn't have the visual stimulation, but he used to like feel and massage the wrist to see whether or not he attracted to them or not. You don't remember that?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, well,
I can't. I'm not going to even say I remember that, but I'm laughing because I'm like, did I miss that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was running them hoes. He was. Let me stop. But what were you saying, Aiheeya?
No, I was just saying I really like the Kama Sutra. The Americanized things. When you Americanize stuff, they want to tell you about the positions and stuff like that. But it's such a sensual,
And
beautiful
that,
thing because
right.
it's more than that. It's really more than that, and
It is.
it's very sultry.
They even talk about like how to set up the room and what scents to use to, elicit out of your partner, like which aromatherapy oil. Well, they didn't call it aromatherapy back then. All
The
kinds of stuff.
oils, right?
Those is,
What
those
lighting to
Herbs or
have.
whatever.
Yeah, oils, what lighting. Mm-hmm.
And see, that's important. So it's
And
more than just Teddy Pendergrass.
It was almost like a mating ritual. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's more than just, oh yeah, I got my music. I got my tracks. You know what I mean? I got my tracks. I got my Teddy P. This, that, and the third. Turn on the lights and light a candle.
And light a candle.
So,
yeah, I like Kama Sutra. I think that now that I'm older and I've had the experience of, I call it ultimate sex, with somebody who is a part of my soul. You just can't go back. So it's like really hard to go
you
back.
can't. It's hard.
So it's to go back to normal, lay down, or you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, really, like kissing is just not enough. Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's a dance. It's like and it's not only your body, physical body. It's two souls journeying together.
It's your mind.
It's the weaving of both. That makes sense.
Yeah. Every part of you is engaged, and it starts from the moment you wake up that morning. It might culminate, but all day long, that's what's happening. It's physical culmination every night. It's done properly.
It's having that orgasm with just a kiss. He could just
that right there. Oh, that's strong. That's strong.
Yes, yeah, and I have experienced. I'm thankful that I have experienced that in my life. That just with a kiss, I'm having the ultimate orgasm.
You ready to just
Lord, today.
My eyes have seen the glory. Understood.
And they have, but many women haven't. Don't even know what that feels like to experience having sex.
Not themselves, Yeah.
And see, that's why we're having these talks, to let not just women, but everybody else know what's out here. You know what I mean? Some people think, oh, you lay down, you do this, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. I do what I see on TV. No, it's more than that. It's a connection of souls when done right. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. It brings you, as Erica would say,
and that's where the high vibration comes in.
And so it brings you closer to God, kind of like masturbation. Am I right?
Yes.
Aiheeya? So we were talking about masturbation and meditation. Girl, you're gonna have to link them for me, because I meditate, but I ain't never done it both at the same time.
So you know how Erica was just talking about breath orgasms? Is that when you're in that, when you can power your meditation and you can just zone out and you can see everything so clearly, right? When nothing else is distracting you, you're just returning to your breath and you're at one with yourself. For me personally, I can hear. I could be crazy, but I feel like I can hear something higher than myself speaking to me, because that's
so there's a connection.
Yes. There's a connection.
When you meditate, you're connected to your higher self anyway.
Yeah. So it's probably my higher self talking to me, right? But I take it in as a higher, something. And it's like, and I can touch myself, and it feels like I'm so deep in that breath work. It feels like somebody's touching me.
Oh.
I don't know if I can explain it. Like
I understand what you're saying.
Me, or if I'm touching myself, I can feel something in me, and like when I'm breathing, because it's so genuine, it's so organic that I'm not even thinking about it. It's just breath work, and I can feel like penetration.
So it's spiritual penetration.
Is
Is that what
you
it?
know?
Yeah,
Is that what you would say?
Yeah, that's
because
how. Okay,
it's
yes,
not
that's
necessarily physical unless you're doing it yourself. But yeah,
yes,
Right.
it's spiritual penetration. Yes, thank you, Erica.
That's
And you know
serious.
what? I've always been ashamed to talk about it because
Mm.
I make jokes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a master class on meditation and manifestation, but I mean meditation and masturbation, and I've always felt like, well, who's gonna really truly understand what I mean when I say I have a spiritual penetration? Like, am I deframing
we
God? Am
understand.
I, I know you understand, but
But you're
because
talking
you're
about
spiritual,
everybody else
I'm
without
talking about
somebody
other
actually.
people. Like I'm having like, it's an abomination. When it first happened to me, I myself was like, oh my gosh, is this abomination to God that I'm like, in the midst of my orgasm, I'm calling out God's name. Like, I'm calling out God. No, seriously, but I'm
You're
calling
right
out
next to
God's
God. You and
name.
Prince
I
too.
understand.
Prince used to do it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm calling God's name because I that's how close I am there.
Wow.
And it's a wonderful feeling. It seems very taboo when it first happened to me, like, oh my gosh, you're so wrong. This is not right.
Yeah, because most people would say that you had like an incubus or a succubus. You know, that's what they go with that. If you
But
were
see,
to
the
say
thing
that
of
to
it is
somebody, they
that
would
right,
misconstrue.
but
Right, Erica. They would misconstrue it
right.
and think of it as something negative and evil that I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it
That, oh,
wasn't.
how dare you use God's name, that God is doing this to you. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's some of the
But when I'm
strongest energy, sexual energy.
but when I'm in it, I
It is.
truly feel that I'm being surrounded by God or a higher power, higher than myself. And it's gentle and it's telling me that it's okay. And in that, while I'm doing that, I'm having that pleasure, but I'm also thinking about the things that I want to manifest, like things that I want and
Mm.
stuff like that. And it's like a conversation. It's so unreal. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. Because I'm
But they say
physically
that
touching.
sexual energy, no, I understand. They say that sexual energy is some of the strongest energy. And if you want to manifest, they say manifest during an orgasm.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
You feel
But
what I'm
because
saying?
think
Because the
about it.
subconscious mind is not taking over. You feel what I'm saying? You're in that.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? You're in that moment. You're in that
Mm-hmm.
energy. You're in that. You're in that spiritual enlightenment or elevation and stuff. And while you're there, having your visit, manifest
Yeah,
what you
it's
need and
definitely
what you
like
want.
out of body. It's like you're no longer, you're there, your body's there, but your vessel is like floating and you can see what's happening. And that's when you speak. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always meditate when I'm at I mean, I
Well, you
always
have to. It's like you
meditate,
have to get yourself in the zone and quiet your mind.
and manifest. And I
I guess for
manifest
somebody
things.
who's first doing it, they probably need to have their vision board in front of them while they masturbate, and that'll help.
They just, first of all, you have to get everything out your mind that is wrong.
Right.
Right? I mean, because you've programmed yourself unknowingly to certain things that reality or growing up has told you is wrong. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And sex and
Mm-hmm.
God together is definitely taboo.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get out that mind and then
Oh,
practice your breath work.
that is true because Christianity has damned sex.
Yeah, everything. But that's man-made. That's not, all that stuff. Oh, you're your palms are gonna fall off and grow hair. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do
You're
that.
heathen. You're heathen. You're this. You're that.
Yeah.
I wonder, did they know that?
But that's a
I wonder,
natural. You know what I'm saying? Every person goes through that. I don't care whether you're dog, cat, male, or female. Everybody goes through those urges, but especially when you're going through puberty and you're a teenager. You know, when you're young and you're just discovering yourself and all these new feelings arising and all that kind of thing. That's normal. But
I'm about to
control.
Right. Okay, I'm about to go to the left.
People in
right
line.
quick.
Keep them from doing this.
That's what I was going to go to. I was going to go to was that, do you think that the religious, not the spiritual community, the religious community has damned sex because they knew that if you have that type of connection with God, you feel what I'm saying, that you ain't gonna need the church?
Oh, wow, Carmen. Wow. That's deep.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it said seek God within.
I wonder if they were smart,
right?
Really think.
Hold on now.
This point.
Give me a second. It says seek God within.
Yeah, within ourselves.
He didn't exactly within yourself. So if you're having that type of sexual experience that brings you closer to God and elevates you to that relationship, why need church for?
That's deep, girl.
And no church, no tithes, and everything else.
And see the thing, girl, don't get me
they
on
would
tithes.
cease to
Okay,
exist
this
in
must be
large
about
part.
sex and spirituality. We're gonna leave that alone. Don't get me on tithes because man has tainted that too, but we'll
save that for another episode.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
But that's very profound, Carmen. Actually, it is.
That is very profound. That's just had me sitting here like, wow.
Because remember, the third eye houses the God gene. You feel what I'm saying? And without that, and without that stimulation, you understand what I'm saying? The God gene doesn't go into effect. And that means that you stay connected to man, not God.
And that is
so that's why they condemned what they do, because they call it evil, because it involves this.
Exactly.
And it involves you waking up.
Exactly.
And seeing the truth.
So they
things,
want you to stay asleep. They want you to stay on what are them pills called? Did it make you sleep? What's them pills that they call it?
Ambien.
Yeah, they want you to stay on Ambien. So you can walk around like a zombie doing stuff you ain't got no business doing instead of connecting yourself like you're supposed to. So they want you to stay asleep. They want you to stay knocked the hell out. But once you wake the,
so they can push their
agenda. Put their agenda on you. Exactly. Look at that.
I'm not talking bad about anybody's religion because people need.
No. Because to each his own.
Right. Yeah, to each his own. People
the framework.
Right.
And for whatever it's worth, is done right by me. Even though I don't necessarily believe all the stuff that we got drilled into us as children, still built a very good foundation for how to be a good person.
No, I do agree on. But the thing about it is, I wonder if I was, instead of religious, if I was spiritual when I was younger, could I have been a better person? Could I have been more connected to God?
Unless you grew up in a spiritual thing.
Of course, we all would have been. That's why I get pissed.
Go ahead, Aiheeya.
You know what? My mom was a good one because my mom never stuck to one religion. My mom was a seeker of knowledge. So it was this one and that one. She was a Scientologist. She was a Muslim. She was this. She was that. I went to Catholic school. My brother and my sister is Yoruba. You know, Isheshe. So I was able to get all of it, you know, so never stuck on this one thing. You know, so it was rooted. Oh, try this. If this don't work, you know,
try it.
Try them all.
Look, kind of sort of like
see what sticks.
Trying out shoes. Hey, that didn't fit. Take it back to the store.
So what's love got to do with it? I had to try Buddhist. I'm
gonna be like Tina Turner. Oh my God! so we know that our. No, go ahead.
No, I said, so I think that being in like Christianity, it makes you feel like it's taboo to be sexual or wait till you're married, or
It
you
makes
know
you
what I'm saying, or
ashamed.
disassociate yourself, right? Disassociate yourself from people who are not
There is an
married.
element of shame.
Right. Shame.
And there shouldn't be, because there's nothing shameful about being connected in a spiritual manner. You understand you know what I mean? And stuff, because we need to celebrate that. We need to celebrate that connection and stuff. And in the United States, we don't celebrate that connection enough. We don't celebrate I don't want to say the whole of life, because it sounds so horrible. We don't celebrate the whole of life. You know what I mean?
We
but
don't.
Other
We
countries
miss out
do.
on a lot of stuff.
Right. You know what I mean? But other countries do. I know when we were talking about what were you saying about India one time? Erica, you were saying that they have a whole different festival or something like that called, what is it called?
Oh, they have a different respect.
Right.
In culture, they actually honor women. I don't want to say it's a whole matriarchal society, because it's not, but they have a certain level of respect for womankind. Now, I'm not talking about gender role dynamics. I'm saying as a greater good. But they honor women because women are the ones that bring life forth. So they have like yoni puja, which means yoni worship. So they actually have the services as part of like their church service where they honor the woman's vagina, not like physically in a sexual way, but there's statues, portraiture, or pictures, artwork that depicts these things, and they will light candles, they will give flowers and offerings, and similar to what we would do with anything. And they do the same thing, and they actually have days in it, but it's in their church where they go and they honor the seed of creation, womankind. I mean, it's part of the religion. It's part of what they do. So, I mean, I think that's wonderful, because we've gotten so far away from that, and we are disrespected as women. Just not. I mean, we're held to a different standard. I mean, there's just so much disparity between our culture and their innate culture, but they're way more advanced than us. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of ways,
right?
As far as being open-minded in their thought process. I'm not necessarily about technology and stuff, but just they're much more enlightened in their thinking, and they're spiritual beings. I mean, when you go other places, I couldn't hear.
I was going to piggyback off of you, Erica. Like she was talking about India, but Japan also has a festival for honoring the vagina, where they get
Japan
and Japan has that, and they honor the vagina, and they get dressed up and wear vagina coverings and stuff like that. And
okay, wait a minute, hold on.
Like that.
So they're walking the streets looking like a big vagina.
Yes, with the clitoris and everything. Yes.
Just looking like a straight hot dog.
Yes, like that.
That's interesting. Okay, good, because Japan. That's right. Japan is not communist. It's China.
It is.
It's communistic. That and that's what I think. That's why I'm like,
it's China that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But see that is it or is it not?
Is it?
No, China.
Yeah, that's
is.
what I just said.
Okay.
China is. I don't think Japan.
But either way, it's an Asian country that does more celebratory when it comes to women than the United States. We're supposed to be such a free society, but we're not free to think the way we need to think.
But if you think about the U.S., right, and this is how I have to rationalize it in my mind. If you think about the U.S., we're like the lowest country on the totem pole, like, right? But Japan, they have like the Qing dynasty and all those other dynasties.
That's true.
India has dynasties. We just came established in 1400s. Right. And then when we came established, we brought European laws here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're not, and
colonization.
Colonizers. Yes. So you know how they were. So they didn't have any culture or traditions or anything like that. truly.
And they did rule by fear, so.
Yes, and they ruled by fear and conquering,
They
taking
did.
over, and stealing other people's culture and stuff like that, or not even trying to steal other people's culture, but trying to wipe away other people's culture.
Right, like it never existed. Like they, oh no,
Like
that
it
didn't
never
happen.
Right.
Right.
Like, excuse me, and no disrespect to anybody, but European ancestry, there are savages. They're warriors.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, they're warriors.
Yeah, they
they're
are.
Savages. Yes.
Yep, just like the Norse, the Vikings, everybody. Yeah.
They came in to steal and maim.
Yep, like chaos.
Yeah.
And chaos is not good.
Answer your question earlier, ladies. Japan is a capitalist country, not communist.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But see, still the same is that
I looked it up.
They're more free thinking than we are. You understand what I'm saying? We have so many different other cultures that are intertwined into the United States that we should be a free thinking country. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They have
you would think
they have a hard time with a thong.
But the Japanese
and
the
know.
Indians have,
but I think it's
dynasties of tradition, and
right.
They can go back and look and stuff like that.
You know what? That's true. You made a.
Yeah,
you know what? No.
Because this is a baby country. This is a new country.
Right.
No, she made a valid point, because what America does is, just like she said, we wipe out other cultures. You understand what I'm saying? We don't take those cultures and be like, okay, let's build on this. Okay, this is what your culture, this is what they did for your culture. And you build on that. We wipe it out and just make up shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like building a fucked up cake.
Right.
Right. We take what we want, the little ingredient that we want to it, and then add to it like we did it ourselves. Like we made this shit up.
Right. Look, it's something like 1 million%, because I was looking and everything, and I saw that even London has a vagina museum.
But
a vagina museum that's
interesting.
But
you know what I mean?
It's what? The vagina is powerful.
I mean, it symbolizes life.
If you think about women, I can't think about the name, but in Jesus Christ's time, women were so powerful that we were so powerful, and we did magic and everything like that. We're the essence of life.
They took us out of the Bible.
They took
because
us out
of
the Bible, and they killed us. And they
did.
And
yep.
And stuff like that. So, but we are the essence. We give life. You need us to give life. And if we understand that as women, that's what we are. Our temple is of life. That's what our vagina is life. It's platinum, baby.
Life giver, life bringer.
She said platinum. I like that. It's rare.
It's rare.
And I'm not trying to be funny, but it does need to be celebrated, because they sexualize us, yes, but what you're looking at, baby, you wouldn't be here without it at all. You'll still be swimming in a nutsack.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they celebrate, because when I was doing the research, it seems like I found a lot of celebrations for the penis. I'm like, okay, they got a penis this, a penis that, a penis this, a penis that, but not much of the vagina. You feel what I'm saying? But that museum in London, I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the pictures, I was like, oh, I wouldn't have put that picture there. But it was giving information to let you know you know what I mean? So one of the pictures I saw, it was of a period cup, and they put glitter on it and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's not cute. But still the same. It was still in, you know.
Next time we gotta put some stuff. We gotta show the pictures.
Put on like a PowerPoint or something like that.
Yeah, I'll do that next time. I can share, but I don't have it.
Yeah, and share it so they can see.
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up, because I can share it. Let me see if I can find it, because what was something else? I found something I'll say that in a second. I'm gonna see if I can
Look up the
find
vagina
the.
festival in Japan, and then you can show the the coverings they wear of vaginas.
And stuff. Let me
It
see.
signals springtime, which makes sense.
So here we go. Can y'all see it? This right here.
Whoa.
This is yeah. I would not have put that in. Yeah, those are cups.
I can't see anything.
You can't see it?
Can you see it, Aiheeya?
I see it.
Yeah. Yeah, those are this is the vagina museum. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have done that. And see, look, you got somebody walking around looking like this. Really?
Oh, now I can see it. I used to use those, but they just sometimes they can be messy.
Use what? The
but they do
what,
work
for somebody to walk around in?
No. Okay, so no, I'm saying before they started to come out with all the organic ones, like now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about that earlier. She was talking about the cup with the glitter.
Right.
Wow.
But that's just too much for me. Crazy. I'm like, okay, y'all don't need to. You don't need to do the glitter, baby. We can.
But clearly, from what I was reading, it's a springtime festival. Like it's springtime festival. It signals the beginning of spring in Japan when they have the penis and vagina festival. So it's normal.
Yeah, that's what they said. Strange. I think that's what. But see, right. But see, remember, we were saying that spring signifies the new birth, the birth of everything new. Everything comes back to life, yep. Right? And stuff. Everything comes back to life. Everything
all winter and yep.
It's been hibernating and now it's time.
Like it's time to be reborn, rebirth. It's regeneration, and that's that's where like the Easter bunny and the Easter egg for Easter is symbolized with the egg. What comes out of an egg? Newborn. It's right. Rabbits multiply sexually like rabbits, literally. Generating, or Astara in the pagan community, which is really where we got Easter from, is their ceremony signifying spring and the renewal and the rebirth of everything. We basically just took that and stuck Easter on it, and I don't know the connection between that, the Easter bunny and the Easter eggs and the grass and the peeps and marshmallows and the candies came from. I guess they were probably one thing at one point, but how Christ, I guess it's a rebirth because Christ rose, died or whatever, came back on the third day, and that third day was considered Easter. So that's his regeneration. I was trying to just tie the two together, but as I was saying it made sense about how they connected the two. But
so listen,
Easter and
it's a little, but they have us.
But they took everything from us.
Just having us believe that because the ceremony that used to be all that stuff predated Jesus. I mean,
right?
Astara was celebrated before Christ was even ever thought about.
Right.
What
it's very ancient. So all those those festivals predate him.
Like Erica is talking about the ancient stuff. They got that from Kemet, as my godfather would say, which is also known as New Day Egypt. And those principles and everything like that, they got from a Ma'at, the 42 principles of Ma'at.
Ma'ats.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of things we get all our principles and stuff like that, and they just put it in their own words.
So they basically nitpick what they see.
Christianity stole a lot of things from other people.
They want.
Yeah, and the women.
But the crazy thing I don't understand.
The women in ancient Kemet.
It was a matriarchal society. Yeah,
yeah,
and then it switched over to patriarchal, but it started out as a matriarchal society in Egypt. But the thing I don't get is how Christianity, which is really pretty much the newest, youngest religion out of what I'm talking about, they can turn around and say, this is negative, this is bad, this is this, this is that, pagans and Wiccans and blah, 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 blah. But you stole everything from them. Christmas. That was also pagan or Wiccan, whatever, because it was in the lights where they would go outside and decorate all the Christmas trees with candles because they didn't have light back then. they would put candles and decorations of fabric and whatever so that the trees are pretty. But Christmas, wanted to say negative things about them, but then you turn around and do the same thing and you got Christmas trees in your house. So it's typical religion. And the more you read and the more you study and connect, we've been fleeced and connected for so long. I mean, disconnected from our truth for so long. It's like really sold some goods. Goods. Because that's what we were taught as kids. And it makes me mad that we finally had our eyes open when we got to be like in our 30s and stuff. But it's just strange. My mother was sharing with me that she didn't even know, because obviously, they hardly taught us anything about Black History Month or anything important in schools like that, or histories and the history of religion or anything. This is so off the subject, but I'm on it now. But like my mother didn't know until recently about Juneteenth. We knew because, just the information is different now. We were privy to it. But growing up, she wasn't taught home. Because that was something that they don't want people to know. They want schools, and they just didn't know.
Right. But see, the thing is that they want you to.
It's sad.
But see, that's where history.
They want to keep. They want to keep us
in the dark. Remember, I'm gonna say it again. History comes in because they want everybody to think that. Okay, don't get me started. Now I'm okay. So I'm gonna say this, story, then we're gonna go back. They want everybody to think that the Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves. Oh my God, Lincoln did. No, baby, nuh-uh. That did not free us. Mm-mm. And stuff. We weren't freed till much, much, much longer after that. So
and then after we was free, they were still stealing us.
Yep, they still were. They still didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They still didn't stop.
There was no laws
trying to keep us in captivity. Mm-hmm.
But see, I'm not trying to be funny, but guess what? The Just Us system,
Just Us, you back in bondage, like
and stuff. They put you back in free slave. You're back in bondage because it's Just Us that ends up having to face the law. Girl, don't get me started. Let me sip.
Yeah, that's a whole another podcast.
Girl,
let's go back to our penis festival.
Let's do something happy. Let's do something funny because that right there just got me. Girl, I can be on the Just Us system for a minute, but I'm gonna get off of that.
You see how Spirit is just lighting and darkening my room? It's just.
Yep, I see it now.
It's been like that the whole time.
It has been like
that. Okay. We're gonna get on something happy. We're gonna get on something funny. Let's end it. Do we have some funny facts? Here's a funny fact that I just looked up. They have a steak and blowjob day, March the 14th.
Where?
It is steak. It is steak and blowjob day.
It's like where?
Hold on,
Is it in Germany?
I'm trying to see. Let me see. Steak and blowjob. Okay, wait a minute. Steak and BJ Day has a whole website.
Is it in the States?
Tell us where it is.
Hold on, I'm trying to make sure where it is. Oh, give them head, baby. Okay, so it says that they created Steak and Blowjob Day. Why they created it is unsure. Hold on, I'm trying to see exactly where it's at because I know it's not in the States. It ain't in no States, baby. You already know that and stuff. I guess because you have beef and beef.
Right. I said men love steak and blowjobs.
Exactly, beef and beef. You got double beef.
But it's all called the beef.
And stuff. Hold on, I'm gonna look up steak and blowjob because I want to know BJ Day. I want to know exactly where it is. You feel what I'm saying? Because it said it was March. What did I say? March 14th.
I'm sure
they said March 14th as a male version of Valentine's Day. Oh, okay. So the steak and blowjob day, since it's the 14th, January, March. Yeah. It mimics a whole month after
14th. It's May 4th. I mean, March 14th,
which is the whole month after Valentine's Day. So I guess Valentine's Day is for women, And Steak and
It's in
BJ Day is from
Massachusetts. Is it Massachusetts?
yeah.
Is it a state?
So it is the States. But who knew that? I ain't know that. So I've been missing Steak and Blowjob Day. I'm so sorry. Look, I'm so sorry that I missed it. But see, the thing of it is that now, and they also have on April the 14th. Now this is like the 14th of the 14th of the 14th. Cake and Cundalingus Day. Cundalingus Day. Excuse me, I said Cundalingus. Cundalingus Day. They said that
what day is that?
That's April 14th.
April 14th?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can celebrate it.
I like cundalingus.
But see, the thing is that what you're supposed to do, you have two things. Either the woman can be eating the cake and you can be eating the cake, or the woman can sit on the cake and you eat the cake.
Oh, I like
eat the cake, anime.
Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake, anime.
Eat the cake, anime. Eat the cake.
Oh, that's funny.
Exactly. So yeah, a little funny. Ooh, some funny facts. It's stuff. That's that right there. Oh, you know what? I did look up the most 10 sexual countries, and it wouldn't be a shocker that the United States didn't even make it didn't even make the cut. But the funny thing is,
Spanish countries and Italy.
Right, because France didn't even make the cut. It's Switzerland, Spain, Italy, Brazil, Greece, the Netherlands, Mexico, Australia. Look, Nigeria, Germany, and China. I don't even know if the United States is anywhere on there.
Listen, I don't even understand China. I thought they weren't allowed to have more than one kid.
Probably not, because we're so prudish.
But see, that's the thing. We don't know. Okay, I guess I started thinking, since China is a communist country and they control everything, that means that you don't know what they don't let us see, because they keep stuff in their country. You know how they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? I guess what happens in China stays in China.
But that's their way of trying to keep the population down. They allow you to have one child, I think if it's a boy, you can stop. But if the first child is a girl, do they allow you to try for a boy? Because they're trying to.
Yeah, you can try you can continue to try for a boy. But I know time ago.
But I think you can't have more than one vehicle. It's a crazy stuff.
But the thing of it is that they populate like rabbits. Look at their population. They love to get down for the get down and stuff. Oh, that is true. Another fact that I found out is that in Lyon, France, they have a sex workers day. So they celebrate them hoes.
I think that's amazing. Those girls work hard for them.
We celebrate hoes in Nevada. We celebrate them hoes in Nevada.
We ain't got no hoe day for them.
At the Bunny Ranch,
yeah. They have
It's not a commemorative day though.
But see, Lyon, France has a day to celebrate.
But it's not legal all over that's one state. Yeah.
And so what were we talking about? Amsterdam at one point in time? Don't Amsterdam have a red light district?
Yeah, Amsterdam has the famous red light district. Mm-hmm. They have the most famous red light district in the world.
And let me tell you, honey, those girls be in the window.
Yeah.
I was there. Saw it.
Like the models, like the mannequins.
Yeah, that's
selling it.
Selling it.
They be putting it out there.
Lingerie.
Yep. You can walk by and pick what you want.
White women, black women.
So basically, it's like a smorgasbord, like a buffet.
They got
a P-Valley buffet. A P-Valley buffet. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I think this was one of my favorite episodes, is because we dove into so much different things. And then Erica listed off 101 orgasms. You feel what I'm saying? Erica need to write a book, 101 orgasms and the names and stuff, because I've never heard of a corgasm. Because now I'm like, okay, when I start doing crunches.
I'm here to tell you, if you don't believe it's real, it's real.
I ain't say that, baby.
It completely took me by surprise. And I was embarrassed in the whole nine. Hmm.
Oh wow.
I,
What'd you say, Aia?
I said, Eric, I'm about to get on this pole and put my legs up and see what happens.
Okay.
I am not mad.
That might be a little hard. I don't even have that. Remind me the next time you come here, I'm going to show you the guys. And you're going to be like, what? Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
But it just,
Education,
I guess it
baby.
depends on your body and how it's made up. If somebody would have said that to me, I would have been like, bullshit, you're lying.
You know what's so funny? I'm going to tell you, before I had my ultimate sexual experience,
Mm.
I could have sex like rabbits. But once you have that experience,
Connection.
sex, that sexual connection, you no longer can ever have meaningless sex again. No matter
Yeah,
how,
you
That
can't.
no
but see
matter
that
how
makes
hard.
sense.
And that's the story of my life. It's sad.
And
Yes,
see,
it has destroyed my life.
but it has enlightened your life. So now you know what's out
I
there.
mean,
I feel your pain. I feel your
that
pain.
was a joke, but it's serious. It's like,
Right.
your ego and your body sometimes want to do something. A couple of weeks ago, Erica knows, I was there in tears. In tears because I remember having sex with someone that was just totally amazing, and I knew that he was going to do the job, but I couldn't do it.
Right.
My spirit wouldn't allow me to do it, and I called Eric. I was bawling.
Was it because of the connection that can't be done or
Yeah.
No, it was because it was. I knew that it was going to be meaningless, and it wasn't going to serve no purpose, and
and
that
that there you go. There
it
you
Only
wasn't.
the
go.
physical.
It was just going to serve a physical purpose, and that
Right, you're right.
But her physical still wanted it.
yeah,
Yeah.
my
And
physical
see
wanted it,
and see
but my
that's
higher
why
self was like, no.
and you just touched on why we chose to do these two episodes about sex and spirituality, because when it comes down to it, you want to have a connection because it's physical. Yeah, it's kind of like if you want that physical without that amazing connection and everything, go run a mile. Go run a
It was
mile.
that instant gratification
Mm.
thing that I had going
Right.
on.
But you want more
It
than
was
that.
hard. Oh yeah, of course I want more than
Yeah,
that,
but
but
you can do that yourself.
Yeah, instant gratification. You're right, Erica. You can do that yourself and everything, and you can move on from there. Do it yourself. Uh,
Without the headache.
exactly. You know what I mean? Without the soul ties that you're going to end up getting because of whoever that person laid with and whoever that person laid with, because
right.
all those connections end up connecting to you in the end. You feel what I'm
Yeah, I'm
saying?
so
And then
aware.
you got to pay
Yeah,
somebody a bunch of money to get it cleaned off.
Exactly. You know what I mean? That's why um, it's so important to know that your sexual experience is also connected to your spiritual experience. And the two run hand in hand. Is nothing to be ashamed of and everything. And that's what these episodes was about. These episodes were about to inform everybody. You know what I mean? To you make your own decision about what you want to do. Nobody's telling you don't go do whatever you want to do, but you need to know the consequences behind everything you do. Because what did they say? With every action is an opposite and equal reaction. So your action is having meaningless sex.
Reaction.
The reaction of it is having those soul ties. You feel what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So you're gonna have to get those. You have to get those cleaned off. But so meaningless sex is not worth it sometimes and stuff. But it's amazing how you've had that connection. You know what I mean, Aiheeya? That ends up blowing your mind. And I know that people that are probably listening are like, wait a minute, I need to email Aiheeya and be like, dude, what'd you do?
It is with the most unexpected person that you have these connections with where you don't even think, you know, but universe brings them into your life, and it changes. That experience definitely has changed my world. It allowed me to stop because I was already spiritually inclined and connected, but I was riding both fences. I was riding this reality fence and my spirituality fence.
Hmm.
And at the end of that journey, it was like, oh, chick, you need to pick a side. I'm
Oh
tired of
wow.
this bullshit that you're doing. And it's and I.e. there I go find Erica, that the universe brought her to me, because I was seeking her. I didn't know I
Just
was
didn't know it.
seeking Allison Edwards, but I was seeking her, and the universe brought her to me in such an unexpected way, and she was right there where shouldn't have been. So right, she
Hmm.
was. So when you are on your
That's true. It
spiritual
was my day
journey,
off.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So when you're on your spiritual journey and you are looking for you, not the help of anybody else, but when you are looking for it, everything is going to be aligned just perfectly. You just have to listen.
I like that. That's a good wrap up. So, my thought for today, my quote for today says, sexuality
It
is an
is.
expression of your spirituality. Sex makes us get real. I love that. What do y'all think?
I like it
Because
too.
it just rips
I love it
everything
too. It
off.
motivates us to do a whole lot of
Mhm.
things.
Yes, it does. Okay, well, that is it for Journey Undefined. If you on YouTube, you need to click like and subscribe wherever it may be. And if you're listening to us from Spotify and whatever podcast, thank you so much for listening. And if you have any questions or anything you want to send to us, any type of emails, please send it to info@cmcproduction.net. Okay, so until next time, our next episode, if you want to go and
Also,
follow us on
let them know,
Instagram,
Carmen.
if
Let them know that if they want to use that email address, that they can also, if they have show suggestions or ideas for topics they think about or whatever, that they can submit them there too.
we're gonna fight. No, she's right.
Sorry,
So yeah,
it just
you
came to
could
my
do
mind.
that. Right, you could do that also. But follow us on Instagram at Journey Undefined 3 on Instagram. You'll see me, Erica, and Aiheeya's picture and everything. Follow us, like our page, blow us up, the whole nine. But again, thank you for tuning in to Journey Undefined. Until the next episode, when we make everybody uncomfortable.